Howdy. We'll continue to look at performance evaluation. We're going to take a little bit different look in this one and look at some of the behavioral implications of evaluating investment center managers. Marsh Company has two divisions, A and B. Each division is required to earn a minimum return of 12% on its investment in operating assets. The following information is taken from the records toward the end of the year. Division A has average operating assets of $1 million and Division B $3 million. Net operating income is $200,000 for Division A and $450,000 for Division B. Division A has an opportunity to make an investment of $250,000 that would generate a return of $40,000 for the year. Based on ROI, would this investment be in the best interest of the company? Would the manager likely be in favor of the opportunity? So we'll look at it from two different perspectives. That is, corporate headquarters, who says make any investment that is expected to earn greater than 12%. And then from the perspective of the manager, who wants to maximize his performance evaluation. We'll look at three different cases. What is the ROI before the project is invested in? What is the ROI of the new project? And then what's the ROI after the investment is made? So before the project, we had been given that $200,000 was the income for the segment, and that was with $1 million in average operating assets. So before the project, the ROI is 20%. Now let's look at what the new project will do. We're told in the second paragraph that the project would earn $40,000 for the year if we make an investment of $250,000. So if you crunch those numbers, you'll come up with 16%. So if we stop here, we realize that this investment center currently is earning a return greater than 12%. So they're doing well. They have an opportunity to earn 16% on a new investment. So from corporate headquarters perspective, this is a good investment because 16% is greater than 12%. But let's look at what happens to the overall ROI of the division if they make this investment. Income will become $240,000, and assuming this $250,000 is an additional investment, the average operating assets become $1,250,000. So when we crunch these numbers, we find out that the ROI becomes 19.2%. So when we evaluate this, the new project is going to lower the ROI for the division manager. And you may think, well, that's no big deal. It's still above 12%. But of course, this manager wants to maximize his performance evaluation. This could be even worse if the manager earned a bonus if he earned an ROI of 20% or higher. So you see there is some kind of conflict here. This investment, again, the corporate headquarters would want them to make this investment. But the manager may choose not to because he or she might look out for their own interest above the company's expectations and just try to maximize their ROI. So the bottom line is ROI has some behavioral issues. Now let's look at residual income. Let's determine how the investment would affect the division's residual income and compute residual income at the present, then the residual income of the new project, and then overall after the project is invested in. So for residual income, we're going to start with the net operating income. You can look back in your notes and you'll see that the division's income was $200,000 and the new project will bring in $40,000 more. So overall the income for the division would be $240,000. Now let's compute the investment charge. This investment charge is the minimum ROI of 12% times the average operating assets. So before we take on the new project, we had $1 million in assets for this Division A, so they were expected to earn $120,000 in income. That's the investment charge or minimum income they have to earn. The new project will require an investment of $250,000, so the investment charge is $30,000. And then, of course, after the project, your investment charge would be $150,000. That's 12% of $1,250,000. So residual income before the project is invested in is $80,000. The new project will bring in $10,000. So overall, the residual income is $90,000. Because the new project is expected to earn greater than 12%, it adds to the residual income. So this new project will increase the residual income for the division. So based on residual income, the new project is in the best interest of the company and will increase the performance evaluation of the manager. So the goals line up. We call that goal congruence, when the goals of the manager align with corporate goals. So residual income does get around some of the behavioral issues related to ROI. Keep in mind there are always behavioral issues when you are evaluating employees. They're going to do things to be sure they get a favorable evaluation, and at times that will be detrimental to the company. So it's your turn. Work some problems. Bring your questions to class. See you then.